Hello. Oh dear, what's this? Bit choppy to start. My laptop fan seems to have started. Let's give everything a second to catch up. Of course. Okay, there we go. Of course, it chooses the exact second we go live to do it. Welcome, one and all, to another round of the quiz stream, installment 5. As ever, I am your quizmaster, MJ from triviamystery.com. So say hi in the chat if you're on the stream and ready to play. We're expecting a few teams tonight, so we'll give everyone a few minutes to get online, get set up, and get ready to go. So while we're waiting for them, let's have a little look at some of the rounds we'll see tonight. Oh, we've got a couple of people in the chat already. Hello. Hello, Kelsey. Hello, Liz. Yeah, let's have a look at tonight's rounds. Starting as usual with some general knowledge. Then we've got Think Before You Ink. Hey, Joanne. Yeah, Fam Dyke. Hello, Mr. Shankar. Round 3, Pizza Planet. Oh boy, Pizza Planet. And round 4, Find the Flugelhorn. Round 5, Shufflescored. Some names are a bit more cryptic than you might realize right away. Round 6, Music Mash. Round 7. Hey, isn't that one guy from The Thing? And finally, finishing off the night with a second round of general knowledge. All right. So, people still hopping in, jumping into the chat. Let's have a look at tonight's beer. Long-time watchers will know I try to get a different local brew from around Romania each episode. Tonight's is Madonna. It says it's a Belgian style beer, and it's from the Moldavian town, the Moldavian Danube port town of Galash, if I'm saying that correctly. Historically, Moldavia's only port on the Danube. Now near the Moldovan border. It says it's a Belgian style, but it also says it's got orange and coriander, which I really think of as being more of a Witbier German kind of thing. But we'll see how it is. So I'm just going to try and plug into a Ethernet instead of being on the Wi-Fi. Might get this a bit smoother. Not bad. What a point to freeze that. I think it's just adjusting to being plugged into the Ethernet connected properly. Hello, all of our expected players. For first-time players or people with short memories. So you'll be playing along with the answer form. And just remember, your answers are not locked in until you hit submit. So if we're going through a round, you think you need a bit of time to think about one question in particular, leave it till the end. You can always go back and change it until you've locked in your answers by hitting submit. At the end of the round, I'll repeat all the questions anyway, so that should help with that. And yeah, then remember to hit submit. You will need to enter your team name each round so that we can keep track of the scores. So please use the same team name each time. Otherwise, it gets a bit impossible for us to keep track of who's who. And if at any point you need if you need me to repeat anything, just say it in the chat and I'll repeat any questions that need repeating. So you can see the board there, that's the scoreboard, nothing in it yet, but you can see we've got quite a few teams joining us tonight. So I think that's everyone. I think we're 7 minutes past the hour now, so there's plenty of time for anyone who is planning on joining. And of course, if someone shows up halfway through round one, I'll repeat the round at the end anyway. So without any further ado, let's get rolling with our first general knowledge round. So make sure you've got those score sheet or those answer forms open. Question one is, which fictional character was granted special citizenship of Japan in 2015? Your options there are Pikachu, Hello Kitty, Godzilla, and Mario. Mario, is that his full name? The Mario Brothers? According to the movie, it is. So which of those four icons of Japan was granted special citizenship in 2015? Question number two regards Richard Milhouse Nixon. Where did Nixon give his famous "I am not a crook" speech? So famously quoted saying, "I am not a crook," and he was in fact actually a crook. Where did he give that speech? Was it at the White House, at Camp David, at Disney World, or at Four Seasons Total Landscaping in Philadelphia? So which of those four locations was the site of Richard Nixon's "I am not a crook" press conference? All right, question three. Residents of certain villages in the Swiss canton of Valais have traditionally kept wheels of cheese, which were only to be eaten at what event? So is that the birth of their first son, at their wedding, at their funeral, or upon inheriting the family farm? So at which of those four major life events would you crack open the cheese that you've been saving for years? So in the Swiss canton of Valais, certain isolated mountain villages have the tradition of keeping a cheese only to be eaten at which of those four events? All right, question four. Last Friday was the 13th. I hope no one had any bad luck. What is the highest number of Friday the 13th that can occur in one calendar year? 1, 2, 3, or 4? So what is the highest number of Friday the 13th that can occur in a single calendar year? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And finally, question 5, last one of round 1. What would you not find in the Sahara Desert? So the following 4 things, which would you not find in the Sahara Desert? Scorpions, cacti, camels, or palm trees? Scorpions, cacti, camels, or palm trees? All things associated with hot places and deserts, but which one would you not find in the Sahara? So just in case anyone missed anything or the stream was breaking up or someone's joined us late, I'm going to run through all of those one more time. So question 1, which fictional character was granted special citizenship of Japan in 2015? You can see all your options there on the form. Question 2 is, where did Richard Nixon give his famous "I am not a crook" speech? Question 3 is, residents of some Swiss villages have traditionally kept wheels of cheese for years, which were only to be eaten at which event? Question 4, what's the highest number of Friday the 13th that can occur in one calendar year? And question 5, which of these things would you not find in the Sahara Desert? So we'll give a couple of minutes to get those in. We've got quite a lot of teams. So, the more teams we have to allow a bit of time for everyone to get finished. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Vaccine number 2. Last time we were doing this quiz, Pfizer had just said they've got a vaccine on the way. There was another one today, can't remember who, but all of a sudden, tons of vaccines. Turns out it's so easy to make a coronavirus vaccine. How was everyone's weekend? Just conferring with my producer as well. So this guy, it's okay. Probably wouldn't get it again though. Not a big wheat beer, white beer, with beer. I'm not crazy about them. Intelligent lockdown here in Enna. I assume that's the Netherlands. So we've got someone playing in the Netherlands. Glad to have you. I think probably our first person joining us from the Netherlands so far. Yeah, but not a lot to do when you're on various forms of lockdown. Here in Romania, we're on soft lockdown. Probably should be a bit more. I think we've got 6 teams out of 7 have submitted their answers. But that's the thinking behind this quiz. Something you can do without going out. Thank you, Leopard Print Annika. Decided to join us. Kelsey Kubiak, no relation of Gary, I assume. We are a Vikings household, so Kubiak's drink free. All right, that's everyone in. So let's run through the answers. So question 1 was, it was Godzilla who was made a special citizen of Japan and a tourism ambassador for the Shinjuku district of Tokyo back in 2015. Pikachu's also has a tourism ambassador role, but he never got a citizenship ceremony like Godzilla did. All right. Question 2. Nixon gave his "I am not a crook" speech in Disney World in Florida. Question 3. In certain isolated Swiss villages, it was traditional to save a wheel of cheese to be served at your funeral. The practice has more or less died out these days, although a handful of families keep cheeses up to 150 years old to preserve the memory of the tradition. They don't eat them at funerals anymore, though. They are just keeping those cheeses real long time. Then the next one was the Friday 13th. So, of course, can't be one because if Friday 13th in a February, you get it in March as well, don't you? So, the highest number is actually 3. That's the most you can have in a single calendar year. The lowest is 1. There is always at least one Friday the 13th per year. And finally, you wouldn't find any cacti in the Sahara, as all cacti are native to the Americas. So, when you see deserts in cartoons, they kind of look either one of two ways. So, if it's like rolling sand dunes and camels and pyramids, that's the Sahara. And if you see cacti and tumbleweed and cattle skulls, that's the American Southwest. So let's take our first look at the scoreboard. Distant relation. You are distantly related to Gary Kubiak. We've got Vikings royalty. We've got Vikings royalty in tonight. I'm very excited. Our leader is Marver, 3 points. Double trouble. I assume that's tonight. 2 points. Happy Now Cleo on 2 points. Tropical Popical on 2 points. And then Cornmax Enterprises, Pig Wolf, and the Van Goghs, all on 1. So not much in it. 2 points separating top from bottom. Yeah, that was a tough opening round. That's a good one. Yeah, but it makes it more satisfying when you get them right, then, doesn't it? Let's see how we do round 2. Bit of a change of pace. We've got Think Before You Ink. So what we're going to see now is 5 celebrity portrait tattoos of varying quality. All you have to do is tell me who you think the intended subject of each portrait is. Easy peasy. So let's have a look at the tattoos in question. And of course, the pictures are also on the answer form. So, number 1. Scary. I'll zoom out a bit. Who do you think that is? Let's have a look at the next picture. Who's that? Tattoo Man. Are the spider legs a clue? Are they just a total red herring? Who knows? All right, let's see the third one. Oof. Zoom out a little bit, see how that hairline's looking. Pretty high. One of the more gettable ones, it's worse when you know who they are, isn't it? Then let's have a look at number 4. This one could go 2 ways. It's pretty much 50-50. Definitely looks like one of 2 famous faces. And number 5. What? It is a celebrity. It's supposed to be a celebrity. the zoomed out version, the name of the celebrity is next to this face. It doesn't look at all like them. So if anyone gets this one, I'll be very surprised. The other four definitely all in the realm of gettability. This one, it's it's just in there for humor purposes. So give everyone a chance to get those in. So yeah, talking of tattoos, it is yesterday was the 6th birthday of my first tattoo. Happy birthday, Whaley. Anyone here got any tattoos? Especially any celebrity portrait tattoos, if you want to share those, maybe be featured in a future round. All right. Yeah, just froze. I was about to say there. Oh, that having the Ethernet cables really helped, and it just froze for a second, but not too bad though. Yeah, I think getting like a little quote or a lyric or something is a good starter tattoo. So just give everyone a few more seconds to get those answers submitted. We've 3 teams in and 7 with us tonight. So let's get the other half of you in. Four in. All right. Celebrity name or character, whichever you think applies to the tattoo in question. I don't want to give too much away. All right, let's see how we're doing. Yeah, you can see there. Producer Jessica in the chat. She'll be applying some executive judgment to scoring. So maybe half points in play if you're close enough, but that really depends on what you've written. I think we're just waiting on one team now. Oh no, they are in. Okay, let's have a look at these answers then. I don't know if we can see them again because producer Jessica's going to be busy scoring everyone. Oh no, she can do 2 things at once. So absolutely terrifying waxwork zombie is actually Avril Lavigne. Yeah, I don't know why Ryan Gosling's head is on a spider's body, but that is supposed to be Ryan Gosling. Probably the most recognizable one, but it's like the terrifying man-eating alien version of Angelina Jolie. What have they done to those lips? This is the one, could have gone 2 ways. Looks a lot like Harry Potter, but it is John Lennon. And this one, I don't have the form open, so I don't know what people have been writing for it. But it's supposed to be Shia LaBeouf. That is actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. I might ask producer Jessica for any particularly funny guesses for that one. Yeah, I don't. I am guessing no one would have got that because it nothing looks nothing like him. Lots of people guessing Elvis. Yeah, it makes sense. They would guess. Yeah, I can see the hair for Elvis. Two people guess Obama. I can see that as well. You know, you've done a good tattoo, and it could equally be Barack Obama or Elvis Presley. Well, let's see how producer Jessica has applied the points following that round. So there's some judgment coming into play this time. Yes, more Shia LaBeouf performance art indeed. And still the same at the top. Mama Bear followed by Happy Now Cleo. Double Trouble Tonight. Oh, they fought that how they fallen from grace. Now they were once vying for the top spot. Now they've fallen back. Still only 4 points out of the lead. You know, we're only 2 rounds in, so it's still anyone's game. Only 4 points from top to bottom. Very, very close game so far. But Mama Bear maintaining her lead so far. And let's have a look at round 3. So next up we have Pizza Planet. So if you were with us last week, we did food around the world. We're getting a bit more specific this time. We're going to show you wacky pizzas from around the world, crazy toppings. Some of these are from like a specific restaurant, and some of them maybe just topping combinations that are popular within a certain country. But you're going to try and guess what country each pizza is from. And to add an extra layer of challenge, you're going to have to make your choice based on your knowledge of world flags. So you'll see the pictures of each pizza, and I'm also going to give you a little bit of a description of each one to help you guess where it might be from. So let's see the first one. Okay, our first pizza is topped fairly conventionally with tomato sauce and mozzarella cheese. And the meat on top, we've got a horse sausage, a horse salami, and salted and smoked horse meat, kind of like horse ham, I guess that would be like, and some onions. So tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, horse sausage, horse pepperoni, horse ham. It's like a meat feast, but all the meat comes from a horse. So, where do you think it's from? Oh, it's too early to surrender. All right, but yes, I think have a look at what you got there. Have a look at those flag options, and we'll have a look at pizza number 2. Yeah, it looks appetizing. Wait till you hear what's on it. We've got stewed chicken liver ragu with bacon, onions, and peas. So if you're an awful fan, this is the pizza for you. I couldn't really tell from the description whether it is a ragu made of chicken livers or if it's just stewed chicken livers and ragu. Amounts to more or less the same thing, with bacon, onions, and plenty of peas. So you can see 4 flags there. Which one do you think it is? All right, next pizza. So you can see there, kind of hard to make out what that is, uh, because it's pretty unusual toppings. We've got pumpkin flowers and corn mold, or like corn fungus, like a type of mold that grows on corn. So pumpkin flowers and corn mold, corn smut, it's called properly, I think. Um, yeah, and you can see 4 flags. Which one do you think this pizza came from? Oh, someone here has tried a chicken liver pizza. I don't mind chicken livers. I always get chicken livers when I go to Nando's. But this combination, stewed chicken livers, peas, it's not really lighting my fire. Yeah, let's look at pizza 4. Oh, let's zoom out a bit. We can see who is. You can see the different eggs there. Uh, doesn't it's not like this is obviously before I tell you about it, you can tell this is one of those ridiculous rich person pizzas where they put a bunch of expensive ingredients on that it's not even a good doesn't even make a good pizza. Doesn't look nice. This is called the Royal Pizza. It sells for £160,000 or $211,000. Um, and on top of it, it's got white Italian truffles, black Perigord truffles, foie gras, Kashmiri saffron, beluga caviar soaked in Dom Perignon. Like, that doesn't even make sense as a flavor combination. Japanese matsutake mushrooms, and 2 ounces of gold leaf. So, absolute monstrosity. Like, break out the guillotines for this one. Um, yeah, let's have a look at the 4 flags and decide where you can get that. And our final pizza, let's have a look. I mean, after some of the ones we've just seen, this one looks something approaching normal. And the toppings include oh yeah, my laptop's just freaking out for a second. So on this, we've got shrimp paste, aubergine, eggplant, brinjal, whatever you call it where you're from, um, okra, tomatoes, bitter melon, and green beans with your typical tomato sauce and cheese. So shrimp paste, aubergine, okra, tomatoes, and bitter melon or bitter gourd or ampalaya. It's a extremely bitter vegetable with many names. Indeed, a bit of pineapple would really just, well, for any of these, whack pineapple on any of the pieces we've seen, couldn't really hurt them. To be honest, the horse one doesn't sound bad. So 4 flags. Choose the one that you think might represent the country from which this pizza comes. And let's a second, get everyone to submit their answers. What's the best pizza topping? Also, what's your opinion of vegan cheese on pizza? We've been trying. There's a good Roman style pizza by the Slice place near us. Sweet potato crust. Yes. No shortage of that out in Korea. And yeah, they're pretty good for veggie pizzas. And I'm not opposed to the idea of uh, uh, vegan cheese pizza, but the stuff they use there, when it melts, it's like hot mayonnaise. Not good. Yeah, there are good vegan cheeses. I've definitely had good vegan cheeses, but I've never found a pizza place that used good vegan cheese. But then again, we are in Romania, not the most veggie or vegan friendly country in the world. I don't know about that. You can't go wrong with a nice olla ball. Is that right? Just a big fried ball of dough. I respect any country that has a massive fried ball of dough as part of their national cuisine. Um, Speculoos. Whole world's gone crazy for speculoos. Great apple pie. All right, let's. I'm just going to check in with my producer, see how many people, how many teams are in. Okay, we're just waiting on the last team, so any second now. I think it's our team. I think even the most maligned national cuisines have a couple of things that you gotta give props to. People love to take the mick out of English foods, but can't beat a Scotch egg, steak and kidney pie. Lovely. So we're just waiting on Mama Bear, but I do believe that is our team that has a little baby to take care of, hence the name. So I don't know if she's still here. Let's see if she said anything else. No. Well, we will throw a 30-second timer in a second. Yes, of course, Sunday roast. I mean, the funny thing about the rivalry between the French and the English, we call them frogs. They eat frog legs. They call us roast beef because we eat roast beef. But both of those foods are great. Those are both delicious foods. Oh, okay, everyone's in. So let's find out where each pizza was from. Let's have see them all again. So the first one was the horse lovers. And yeah, so the horse lovers is from Kazakhstan. Um, so not French, but we had a couple of the Central Asian like horse peoples in there. It was not Mongo there either. It was Kazakhstan. Next, chicken liver, bacon, onion, peas. It's from Hungary. Apparently, quite popular in Hungary. I mean, yeah, whatever makes you happy, Hungary. Then we have pumpkin blossoms, pumpkin flowers, and corn or huitlacoche, as it's known. It's from Mexico. Then this terrifying gentleman is presenting the ridiculously expensive. This guy who hands you your expensive pizza, caviar and truffle and gold leaf and everything pizza. You know, these things crop everywhere, don't they? But this particular is from Dubai, so the flag of the United Arab Emirates. That was the one you should have clicked on. the final one, it's a melon with a giveaway there. It's the Philippines. So that's the one that kind of Czech Republic wed, but we've got like a sunburn and stuff in it. All right, so let's take a look at the scoreboard. I can't see it. Ah, there it is. Okay, we now have a tie at the top. Now Cleo and Mama Bear, 7 points each. Then we've got Tropical one behind. And Cornmax and Pitbull tie 1 point behind. Trouble tonight, and the Pickoffs 1 point behind on 4 points. So it's still just a 3 point spread between all 7 teams. This is staying a very, very tight match so far. Oh no, don't worry. Maybe you'll only be appreciated after the quiz. But yeah, still very tight. Especially like at this stage in the game, sometimes you'll have a bit more of a gap at the top and at the bottom, but still only a 3 point spread. So everyone's still in it for sure. All right, and round 4, we have Find the Flugelhorn. Now, this round is not actually as musical as you might expect. It's named after the example we're going to give you. So on your screen, be patient, it might take a second to load. You will see a picture with several things in it, and I'll tell you which one to circle. So in this instance, if I said, circle the Flugelhorn, you do that. So you'll be able to like draw on the pictures. There's back buttons if you make a mistake, and if possible, Jessica is going to be marking these by human eye. So if you could choose like a nice bright color that's going to show up against the picture, like bright green works on everything, bright pink, anything like that that's really going to show up, just will make the marking go a bit quicker. But let's have a look at the first picture. Okay, so familiar faces there. But I'd like you to circle one that's maybe not as familiar for people as. Can you circle Abby Cadabby? Which of those Muppets is Abby Cadabby? So yeah, at the top, there should be a little control bar at the top where you can, if you accidentally draw a line across the whole thing, you can hit back and change your color as well. There's the black square, that's the color picker. So you're drawing a circle around Abby Cadabby. All right, picture 2. Look at this handsome fellow. Can you circle his main sickles? His main sickles. So we will be giving you an extra, minute or two after this round, just in case the controls are a bit fiddly or anything like that. So don't worry, we'll give you a second to get these ones in. And let's have a look at picture 3. So we've got several different tropical fruits here, but we'd like you to circle the mangosteen. Circle one or more of the mangosteen. All right, and picture the fourth. It's a gun! Circle the safety. Important to know. Circle the safety. There's all kinds of clips and bips all over it. Which one is the safety? And the last picture. Can you circle Björn Alveus? We all recognize the band, I assume, but can you circle Björn Alveus? Pretty much a 50-50 for most people, I think. All right, so this one we figure this is the first time we've run this round in this style. We will run through them one more time while you're working on them. So let's see. Number one, we want Abby Cadabby. So we familiar bunch of Muppets there. Can you circle Abby Cadabby? On this guy, we want the main sickles. Then in this selection of tropical fruit, please circle the mangosteen. And on this handgun, please circle the safety. And let's circle Björn Alveus in this picture of a certain Swedish supergroup. There is a book, what was it? All right, so I'm not sure how quickly people are going to get these. We haven't done a round like this before, so I think we'll give you like a little 1 or 2 minute interval, as we usually do after round 4, to get those answers in. And just obviously, we don't know how quickly the scoring is going to go with a new answer input as well. So grab yourself another beer, make a cup of tea, go to the loo, whatever it is that you'd like to use approximately 2 minutes to do. And we'll see you then. Let's run through the answers to round 4. Let's have a look at the pictures. So, who was Abby Kadabi? It's this little pink one. So, congratulations to everyone who got that right. She wasn't in it when I was a kid anyway, so I thought it was a tricky one. Picture 2. Oh, yeah, I think a wire has come loose. Give me a sec. Just going to mute myself while I fix this. All right, sorry about that. Let's have a look at picture 2. It's a rooster, and his main sickles are the big curved feathers, the main curved feathers at the top of his tail there. Okay, picture number 3. Lots of tropical fruits there. Which one are the mangosteen? These guys here, kind of woody rind and soft, kind of fragrant white flesh. It's in kind of segmented like an orange, but the flavor somewhat reminiscent of like a lychee or something. The next one is the Beretta, I think. Yeah, where is the safety? This little switch here at the back. And it's ABBA, of course. And which of them is Björn? I mean, it's pretty much which one's Benny, which one's Björn, kind of a coin flip. But Benny always kind of the cuddly looking one, Björn the slightly disconcerting looking one. So that's Björn there at the end next to Agnetha. The safety is the end that doesn't go boom, but yes, quite right. The end that can't shoot you is probably the end that you would call the safety. I wonder if we can see the scoreboard after that. Oh, yeah, let's go. Oh, Mama Bear had a strong round. Very good. We had a couple of perfect rounds there. So Mama Bear on 12 and Double Trouble Tonight zooming. Another great one. Perfect rounds, taking them into second place. All right. So we're going to move on to the next round and have a look. But we are going to double check those. So if in case things look a bit moved around after the next round, it's just because Jessica is double checking all of those. As we said, first time we've done that type of answer input, but that's why we put it not right at the end so we can get things fixed. All right, so round 5 is Shufflescored. So if you ever played shuffleboard, either floor or tabletop version, you know how it works. You slide your puck along, and the closer you get to the end, the more points you get. But if you go over the end, you get no points. And that's how the scoring on this round is going to work. You can also think of it as Price is Right rules. If you are familiar with the game, the Price is Right. If you go over, you get no points. But the difference is the closer you get, the more points you get. So all the answers today are going to be themed around the world of competitive eating. And you're going to have to guess a number that is associated with the world of competitive eating. And the closer you get, so there's a maximum of 3 points available per question if you get the number spot on, exactly right. So that's going to be pretty hard. I'll be very impressed if anyone gets a 3-pointer at all. But then if you get very close, but without going over, you'll get 2 points. If you get kind of close, you'll get 1 point. We have predetermined limits. Basically, if you get above 80% of the total, you're in the 2-point range, around about 80%. If you get over around about 60% of the total, you get 1 point. So it's quite a forgiving range. But yeah, you'll get the hang of it as we go. If you go over though, so don't be guessing super high numbers because you might go over, and that's you get no points. Just going 1 over is down to 0. You'll get the hang of it as we go through it. So the first one is, what is the record for the number of glazed donuts eaten in 8 minutes? Most glazed donuts, so I think like a Krispy Kreme, just a plain glazed donut, eaten in 8 minutes. So how high dare you go? The closer you get, the more points you get. But go too high and it's no points. So it's like shuffleboard. See, when you play shuffleboard, you don't want to throw it too hard, but you want to throw it hard enough. So glazed donuts in 8 minutes. Try to imagine if you were to eat a glazed donut in the physically fastest time possible. How many seconds would that take? All right, the next one. What is the fastest time in seconds to eat 10 pounds of baked beans? I believe these are cold baked beans. The fastest time in seconds to eat 10 pounds of baked beans. Number 3, we get a second to think about these. At the end, I'll repeat them all. What is the record for 6-inch Philly cheesesteak sandwiches eaten in 10 minutes? So, in case you're not familiar with a Philly cheesesteak, it's like thinly sliced, chopped beef with usually like Velveeta, like cheese from a can, and sometimes like onions on it. And 6-inch, you've gotten a 6-inch sandwich from Subway before, so you know kind of how much we're dealing with there. So the most of those eaten in 10 minutes. You've got to put yourself in that competitive eater mindset. For you and me, I mean, what are we talking there? Like two is about where we're tapping out in 10 minutes, but we're trying to think of like a competitive eater. Yeah, number of sandwiches, and all answers are whole numbers. All right, number 4, the record for the number of chicken nuggets eaten in 5 minutes. Number of chicken nuggets in 5 minutes. So for those of you who are trying to think of a play it safe, just get the points philosophy, the cutoff for getting 1 point on each of these is around 60% of the total. So it's quite a forgiving cutoff if you want to, depending how tactically you want to approach this round. And question 5, last one. What is the record for eating most chicken wings long form in 30 minutes? Now, I will explain to you, in the world of competitive eating, chicken wings are measured in 2 different ways. Long form means clean the bone, and the record is measured in number of chicken wings. Short form, you just eat a chunk of meat, you can leave stuff on the bone, and they just weigh the bones to see how much meat you ate. But this is long form. You have to clean, the bones are inspected. You clean those bones, no meat on the bones. So you got to think that's kind of fiddly. Competitive eaters have a lot of techniques to like gulp stuff, but you got to think that's going to slow you down a bit. How much is it going to slow them down though? So how many chicken wings in 30 minutes? And that is number of chicken wings that is measured in. So all of these are in number of the item eaten, except for number 2, which is seconds. How many seconds to eat 10 pounds of baked beans? So we'll run through those all again. Number 1, number of glazed donuts in 8 minutes. Number 2, how many seconds to eat 10 pounds of baked beans? 10 pounds is what in kilos? Like 4 kilos. Then we've got the number of 6-inch Philly cheesesteaks in 10 minutes. And we've got the number of chicken nuggets in 5 minutes. And finally, the number of chicken wings cleaned, pick the bones clean, in 30 minutes. I'll be revealing who holds each record as we go over the answers. This round heavily inspired by the impromptu tiebreaker I had to come up with last week. We had our first ever need for a tiebreaker last week. The way things are going, we might need one again this week. Very tight race across the board, not just at the top. Everyone within like 3 points of each other past the halfway point. Unprecedented level of competition. So how are we doing for entries? So we double checked the scoring for the previous rounds. Those all were correct. So there'll be no changes there. I've been informed by my producer, someone got a bang on 3-point guess. So congratulations. Someone needs number 5 repeated. Number 5, the number of chicken wings in 30 minutes. Those chicken wings picked clean. It's on the screen there in the little ticker. Number of chicken wings, long form, eaten in 30 minutes. So as I've elaborated upon, long form means those bones are picked clean. So I think that's probably just the, I assume that means you would be one. There's one team we're waiting on. So get your guesses in. If you've made your guesses, just hit submit. It's a kind of a guessy kind of round anyway. But yeah, congratulations to whoever got that 3-pointer. Yeah, always a chance that you're gonna just perfectly nail that shuffleboard shot. Apparently we've also had some really close answers that went just over. So it's going to be a dramatic one as we go through the answers, if you can remember what you wrote. Okay, everyone's in. So we will go through them all. So first one was the most glazed donuts eaten in 8 minutes. This record is held by Joey Chestnut, and it's 55 donuts in 8 minutes. That's a lot of donuts. The second one was the time to eat 10 pounds of baked beans. So our closest answer on that was 50. So if you wrote 50, pat on the back, you got 2 points, and you were our closest answer. The fastest time to eat 10 pounds of baked beans was Gideon OG, who ate them in 105 seconds, which I think everyone overshot on that. Our closest was 120. Very fast baked bean consumption. I think recently set, because it was like, I was reading through the list of records and it was like the quarantine challenge or the socially distance challenge or something. So it was all like a Zoom competitive eating challenge, just like sitting in your home office guzzling cold baked beans. All right, question 3. The 6-inch Philly cheesesteak sandwiches in 10 minutes. The number is 23, and that was Joey Chestnut again. Oh, just the Van Goghs just over with 25. So close. Yeah, Joey Chestnut again. Not the last time we're going to hear that name in this round. Then question 4, the record for the number of chicken nuggets eaten in 5 minutes. Sonia Thomas with 80, which Tropical Popical got bang on, 80 on the money. It helps when the actual record is a round number, I suppose. Yeah, 80 chicken nuggets in 5 minutes by Sonia Thomas. Probably the greatest female competitive eater of all time. But the all-time great Joey Chestnut again, number 5. He ate 182 chicken wings in 30 minutes, cleaning the bone. Great work from Joey Chestnut again, and great work from Tropical Popical again. 150, the closest guess. So let's have a look at the scoreboard after that. So the scoring was, how does the scoring work? So yeah. So the Van Goghs, oh no points. Oh, that's rough. Just slightly going over. And the totals, Mama Bear regaining her lead, Tropical Popple shooting up thanks to that perfect 3-pointer. So close on a couple of those. Tragically close, the Van Goghs there. But again, still everything to play for. Still hasn't gotten completely out of hand for any of our teams. It's been a pretty tight game all around. We still have 3 rounds to play. So let's have a look at Music Mash. So in this, you're going to get 2 music-based clues, and the answers join together. So the end of one merges with the beginning of the second. You've got to like combine them together. So For example, if the first clue was the name of the November 1982 top 10 hit for Madness, you think, oh, that's Our House. And then the second clue was the name of the May 1982 number one hit for Madness, you think, oh, that's House of Fun. And so the answer would be Our House of Fun. You wouldn't write house twice. You wouldn't write like Our House and House of Fun. You join it together, smash it together, Our House of Fun. So you should, as we go through them, you'll kind of get what I'm going for here. And remember, you can always go back until you hit submit. So if only really clicks by like question 3, you'll still have time to go back and change them. So let's have a look. All of these, there is a picture element. So the first half will be a picture. Second half will just be a clue that I give you. So let's have a look at the picture for question 1. Sad eating noises. All right, so this throwback viral music star pictured and the heavy metal pioneers who released Paranoid in 1970. So think of the name of the throwback viral music star pictured, and then think of the name of the heavy metal pioneers who released Paranoid in 1970, and mash that music together. All right, let's have a look at picture 2. The pictures should all be on the answer forms as well. So we've got this British alt-rock band and the rap group best known for Ode to Eazy-E, The Crossroads. So this British alt-rock band in the picture and the rap group best known for Ode to Eazy-E, The Crossroads. So maybe a bit of a thinker. Let's have a look at picture 3. So we've got pictured this dysfunctional supergroup who are occasionally joined by Neil Young. And the second clue is the Tennessee city known as Music City, thanks to its country music scene and iconic venues like the Grand Ole Opry. So clue 1 is the pictured supergroup who are occasionally joined by Neil Young. And the second clue is the Tennessee city known as Music City, thanks to its country music scene and iconic venues like the Grand Ole Opry. So yeah, you get the 2 answers, you smash them into each other. All right, let's have a look at the picture for number 4. The picture clue is this internationally renowned maestro cellist that you can see here. Who is this famous cellist? Not that many famous cellists. And the second clue is the iconic frontwoman who died aged 32 in 1974 and is known for songs including California Dreamin'. So the first clue is the pictured maestro cellist, and the second clue is the iconic frontwoman who died aged 32 in 1974 and is known for songs including California Dreamin'. And we'll have a look at the last one, picture number 5. So we've got this country music star and judge from The Voice, the American version of The Voice, also inexplicably dating Gwen Stefani and named World's Sexiest Man. Just what is happening? How How has that been allowed to happen? But yeah, so that guy pictured. And the second clue is the world famous performer born Reginald Dwight. The world famous performer whose real name is Reginald Dwight. Yeah, so the clues are all being posted in the chat. If you need to see them again, probably a bit easier to see them written down than hear me say them over and over. So thank you, producer Jessica, for being on top of that. So some of these might be thinkers. Try not to interrupt too much while you try and work this out. And this is the kind of thing where you're like trying to get sounds to flow together in your head. Probably a bit annoying if I'm talking over you. I'm not necessarily a fan of all these nicknames that my producer keeps giving me. Right, so all the questions there are in the chat. 1 to 5. 5's missing the number, but it's the one that comes after 4. Okay, someone's in, so it can be done. And apparently they did extremely well. So good round for the Bangkoks. They would do one. They would do a good round. But it does seem like this one's taking everyone a bit longer, and I do kind of need to use the loo. So we're not going to take the full 3 minutes like we did last time. I might just take 1 minute to use the bathroom and let you guys think about those answers.
Darkness I can fight. Oh,
And we're back. All right, I think everyone's in now, so we can run through the answers. So first, I showed you a picture of Rebecca Black as she looks these days, and heavy metal pioneers who released Paranoid in 1970 were Black Sabbath. So together, that's Rebecca Black Sabbath. So you see how it works. All right, next we saw a picture of Placebo. Of course, the crossroads is Bone Thugs and Harmony. So the answer is Placebo Thugs and Harmony. Then we saw a picture of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Music City is Nashville, Tennessee. And so that comes together as Crosby, Stills, and Nashville. I almost messed it up there. See, it's complicated. All right, then we've got the internationally renowned maestro cellist that was Yo-Yo Ma. And of course, the front woman who sang California Dreaming was Mama Cass of the Mamas and the Papas. So that's Yo-Yo Mama Cass. And then finally, we saw Blake Shelton, and that was the picture of the guy who I don't know how he's the world's sexiest man. And then we got Reginald Dwight is Elton John. So the answer is Blake Shelton John. All right. So let's see how that affects the scores. Let's reorder. And we are tied at the top. Tropical Popical and Mama Bear. Well, congratulations, guys. Starting to pull ahead a bit now. After that round, we are seeing some separation. Happy Now Cleo at 13. Double Trouble Tonight at 12. Looking like the main competition going into the final two rounds. But of course, there are 10 points up for grabs. So every team can win outright, technically, apart from Pig Wolf, who would be able to tie if Tropical Popical and Mama Bear both do awfully in the next two rounds. And that takes us to round 6. We'll try and bang out these last rounds nice and quick. We are, otherwise we might run a little bit late for some people. I know people have bedtimes, people have children. So next we've got, hey, isn't that one guy from The Thing? So you ever notice when you're watching like an animated show, like especially these days with all these like Netflix adult animations, like it's all just like comedians from various stuff, and you're like, I recognize that voice. So here we've got 5 animated characters voiced by 5 famous faces. We're going to show you the animated characters, and you have to choose which of the 5 celebrities voiced them. So your 5 characters that you'll see are Luann from King of the Hill, Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys, Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc., Sally Brown from Peanuts, and Hexus from Fern Gully. And the 5 celebrities that you must match them to are Brittany Murphy, Fergie, Billy Crystal, Tim Curry, and Flea. Oh, yeah, sorry, I went a bit too fast there. I didn't realize the pictures were going to be coming up on the screen. So let's go one more time. We've got Luann from King of the Hill, Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys, Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc., Sally Brown from Peanuts, and Hexus from Fern Gully. So again, those voice actors are Billy Crystal, Brittany Murphy, Fergie, Tim Curry, and Flea. That's Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas, not the former Duchess of York, nor the former manager of Manchester United. And Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, not the insect. So, now personally, I prefer it when actual professional voice actors do the voices. My new beer. Someone's asking about the new beer. So I always start with kind of a fancy local microbrew. Then I always switch to Ursus, which is my number one Romanian macro brew lager. Can't go wrong with an Ursus. Ferngully was terrifying. Um, I actually was very scared of Ferngully as a kid, not because of Hexus though. I got really scared. There's a bit at the beginning where they're zooming around and like a monitor lizard eats the guy, and it's like played comedically in the movie. Like the monitor lizard is friends with the fairy, and she has to be like, "No, don't eat him, you silly goose." But I was so scared of that bit when I was like 4. But also, there were a lot of things about that movie I really enjoyed. It doesn't really hold up on a rewatch. I've rewatched it once as an adult. Like Robin Williams, God love him. His rapping is what you would imagine from Robin Williams rapping in a children's movie in the 90s. Cheers! I'm trying to remember the Dutch. I can't remember. I'm usually pretty good at toasts in various languages, but I've had a few too many toasts already tonight. Um, where was I? I was on some weird, fun gully tangent. But yeah, the thing that always stuck in my memory was so the guy gets turned really tiny and he meets the fairy, and he's like just like, such a fucking doofus, and he's like, "Oh, where I'm from, we'd say you're a real bodacious babe," which I just found to be the funniest thing ever when I was a kid. I just found the combination of words bodacious babe to be inherently hilarious. Proust, there we go. Proust. Yeah. In Romanian, noroc. Hexus, I didn't find that bad. Hexus is kind of funny. I especially liked him when he was in like Venom form, like he's like tar, like going into the machinery. I will not be revealing accidentally in my drunkenness who the voice of Hexus was. So don't try it, leopard print. Yeah. No, I was quite into Hexus. That monitor lizard there. No, no thanks. Yeah, there's a few celebrity voice acting things where it's just like, why did they bother with that? Like, what are they really bringing to this role? Like, the Iron Giant. Like the mum is Jennifer Aniston. I don't know, like why they needed to get who at the time was like a really expensive actor to do that role. She doesn't have a particularly like distinctive voice. She doesn't do like a main accent or anything. She doesn't really. I mean, like she's. I've got nothing against Jennifer Aniston. She's fine, but she doesn't really bring anything to it that just like an actual voice actor who probably could have used the job would have brought to it. I see Leopard Print feeling pretty confident about that round, though. Yeah, we're waiting on two more teams. One more, and then we'll be able to go through and start the final round. Can't you feel my toxic love grind beneath me, slime up above? It's kind of got Ursula energy. All right, so let's run through them. First, Luan. Uh, oh, I see. This is a reaction to my singing. So first, Luan was voiced by the tragically taken too soon Brittany Murphy. Number two was Donnie, voiced by Flea, mostly just kind of like animalistic grunting. Then Mike Wazowski was Billy Crystal. Sally from Peanuts, voiced by Fergie, not in some modern reboot or anything. She was a child actor. She was one of the original, not the original. She wasn't voicing Peanut specials in the 60s, but she was one of the original Sallys, slightly later, but not like a reboot or anything. Like she was age appropriate voicing the character. And finally, Hexus was voiced by the inimitable, despite my best efforts, Tim Curry. So let's have a look at the scores heading in to the final round. Oh boy, I sure am glad I prepared a tiebreaker because we have a tie heading into round 8. Tropical Popical and Mama Bear. They've looked like the two front runners for the last couple of rounds now, and they're definitely still the front runners, 22 points apiece. So really, the only people with a hope of catching them would be Double Trouble tonight. Just both had perfect rounds there. Great job from both teams. I think everyone had a strong round there, so well done to every team. It looked like everyone did very well indeed. But that does mean we've got two clear favorites heading into the final round, Battle of the Titans. So, round 8, general knowledge. Question 1. What spice can be used as catnip for dogs? So we know how much cats love catnip. They get all like... there is a spice that has a similar effect on dogs. Is it cardamom, caraway, anise, or clove? Which of those 4 spices has a catnip like? Oh my gosh, we've got one of our tiebreak teams from last week in the top 2. Catnip for dogs. Yeah, so which one of those 4 spices has a similar effect to dogs as catnip does on cats? Question 2 is, which of these bald men is the highest grossing bald actor at the box office? A couple of clarifications to make. This is the gross of all movies that they have starred in, that they are credited in. So they don't have to be the main star of the movie. The other thing the other addendum is this does include movies before they were bald. It includes animated movies where they're voicing a character bald or not. But these are all men who are now well-known bald men, but throughout their acting careers, who's the biggest box office star? So your options are Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Jason Jason Statham, Samuel L. Jackson, and Vin Diesel. So really, the question is whose filmography is biggest at the box office out of those four guys, who all happen to currently be bald. Then we've got question 3. Assuming that the ongoing recounts do not change the results, how many states flipped from one party to the other during the recent US election? 3, 4, 5, or 6? So this includes all states that flipped, whether they went Democrat to Republican or Republican to Democrat. How many states flipped from the 2016 election to the 2020 election? Then question 4. Which country has won the men's Aussie rules or Australian rules football World Cup more than any other? Which country has won the Aussie rules World Cup more than any other? Is it Australia, Ireland, Papua New Guinea, or Samoa? So that is the men's competition. There is a men's and a women's. There is a different answer for the women's. But we are only giving the point if you get the one that's right for the men's competition. So Australia, Ireland, Papua New Guinea, or Samoa. And question 5. Dolly Parton claims to have written 2 of her biggest hits on the same day. Which 2? So is it Jolene and I Will Always Love You? Is it Jolene and Islands in the Stream? Is it 9 to 5 and I Will Always Love You? Or is it 9 to 5 and Islands in the Stream? So which of those pairs of songs does Dolly Parton claim that she wrote on the same day? And I did a little, one of those Snopes or PolitiFact, well, not PolitiFact, it's not political claim. They said like true or like very likely to be true. But this is her claim that she wrote these 2 songs on the same day. Which 2? Which pairing? So I'll run through those all one more time. So question 1 was which of those 4 spices can be used as catnip for dogs? Number 2, which of those bald men is the highest grossing actor at the box office? Number 3, assuming that the ongoing recounts don't change the results, how many states flipped during the recent US presidential election? So that is assuming like as called, some states have begun automatic recounts because they were within the threshold, but they all have been called one way or the other at this point. So those initial calls, how many states flipped? Then question 4, which country has won the men's Aussie rules football World Cup more than any other? And question 5, which 2 songs does Dolly Parton claim that she wrote on the same day? Which are the 2 of her biggest hits? Obviously, she probably had a lot of days where she wrote 2 songs, but a day where 2 of the songs she wrote turned out to be 2 of her best known hits. Yeah, so this is useful information for those of you with dogs. Olds, yeah, old men, bald men, hairless on the top at least. Let's get that profile pic on the screen. I want to see that pug. Oh yes, he looks like he's judging, staring into the back of your head. Lovely. All right, so give a minute or so to get those answers in. Anyone need anything repeated? I'm excited to see how this turns out. It's come down to the wire 2 weeks in a row. I mean, all of them we've done have been close, but these last 2 weeks, they've been nail biters. I think we're waiting on 2 or 3 teams. I think this is a situation where you tell people, well, it's between you and one other team, and those are the 2 teams that just they take as much time as they possibly can to check every single answer that they're sure about it. No cheating, guys. It's not worth debating yourself. You know that win would be tainted. All right, just one more team, and so if that's you, hit submit. So sometimes if this happens, it can just be a little bit of an internet delay. But Cornmax, not sure which of you that is, but we're just waiting on your answers. I don't know if you've hit and submit yet, and there's just a delay. Okay, you're in. You're in. I can see you're in. Okay, fantastic. So we'll run through those answers real quick. So first of all, anise can be used as catnip for dogs, but that is anise. Apparently, star anise, fennel, licorice, other kind of similar anisey things aren't as effective or don't work as well. But small amounts of anise apparently they'll give a catnip-like effect on most dogs. Then, of those bald men, the highest grossing at the box office is Samuel L. Jackson. So he can thank his involvement in the MCU for that stat, I'm sure. A lot of movies where he's in there for like 30 seconds and then it's the highest grossing movie of all time probably helps. Then we've got the recent election. 5 states flipped. No flips from Democrat to Republican, but 5 from Republican to Democrat. Those were Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Arizona. Then the men's Aussie Rules World Cup. Australia does not compete in the Aussie Rules World Cup because otherwise, I mean, there just wouldn't be any point in having it, would there? They'd win every single time. So in the men's competition, Papua New Guinea are the most successful. It's been held 5 times. It's every 3 years. They've won 3 of the 5 that's been held. There have been 3 women's tournaments, of which Ireland have won 2. So Ireland are the most successful in the women's tournament, but Papua New Guinea in the men's tournament. And then we've got Dolly Parton claims to have written Jolene and I Will Always Love You on the same day. Can he thank his involvement in all his projects? You know, Sam Jackson's one of the ones who, early in his career, was not bald. Like, you think back to his roles in the 90s, he often was a beheaded man. But yeah, obviously some iconic Dolly tunes there. I'm sure you'll all have Jolene stuck in your heads for the next week if you're anything like Jessica. And we'll see how that leaves the final scores. Is it going to come down to the tiebreaker? I don't know. I haven't been looking at the scores. Jessica's just been telling me when people have all entered their scores. So I am just as on the edge of my seat as you guys are. Oh my God! For the second week in a row, we have a tie. It's going to come down to a tiebreaker again. Tropical Popical and Mama Bear both on 25 points. Well done to Double Trouble tonight. Valiant showing in second place, 21. And Happy Now Cleo with 17 points in third place. And Corn Max and the Van Gogh is only 1 point short of that. Yes, FML from Mr. Shankar. 2 weeks in a row, you've found yourself in a tiebreak situation. How does this keep happening? So let's have a look at our tiebreaker question. So there is a bonus sheet for you. You'll see it in the chat. Copy paste, copy paste that into your browser. It's going to take you to a bonus answer sheet where you'll answer just one question, and it's a situation closest answer wins. So the question is, as of 6:38 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time this evening, so that's just when I wrote this question in preparation for this very eventuality, was how far from the Earth was the most distant man-made object, which is Voyager 1. So you just got the answer is in miles. So how many miles from Earth was Voyager 1? That's the space probe that left. I mean, we can't really say when do you leave the solar system? Is it the Oort cloud? Is it the Van Kuiper belt or whatever? Oh, one of our tiebreak competitors actually has I assume, infant-based situation. Sure, you can answer, but and see how you do, and we'll just check who got closest. We'll check who got closest out of our two number one finishers. But if anyone gets closer to them, gets closer than them, we'll let them know just for bragging rights. But yeah, we are gonna wait a second for glory. Exactly. We're just waiting a second for one of our competitors who has a family situation to take care of. But yes, the answer is in miles. How far away from Earth was Voyager 1 at 6:38 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time this evening? So if you're in Amsterdam or the Netherlands, that's the one time zone over? I don't know what time zone everyone's in. If you're in the Central European time zone, that would have been 7:38. If you are in Eastern Europe, as we are, it would have been 8:38. Okay, you're back. So you can see the question there on the screen. You need to guess in miles how far away from Earth. I mean, it's been traveling for decades now. So the difference of, I'm sure the difference of a couple of hours is not going to make much odds. But guess how many miles away Voyager 1 is. Okay, Tropical Popical are in, so I think we are just waiting on Let me just check how close that is. Oh, it's yeah. We're just waiting on Mama Bear. Get your guess in. Got to be in it to win it. I'm just using what the NASA website gave me. So that's why I'm using miles. All right. So, Mama Bear, wait, I'm just going to check if you are in with producer Jessica. So that means our winner is, we do have a definitive winner. And I will reveal that as of 6:38 p.m. GMT this evening, Voyager 1 was 14,112,485,483 miles away from Earth. So, our guesses were from Tropical Popical, 120 million miles. Short, but you know, we're talking with big numbers. Who knows where the other guess will be? 120 million miles, quite a lot short of 14 billion odd. So what did Mama Bear guess? Mama Bear guessed 10 billion. Much closer. Very good guess. So that means tonight's winner is Mama Bear on the tiebreak. Congratulations, Mama Bear. Commiserations to Tropical Popical. Excellently played game by both of you all the way through. Very exciting. Great to see it come down to a tiebreak again. Just really adds that element of excitement. Yes, congratulations are in order. Some congratulations there from your fellow competitors. Yeah, Canadians in the chat absolutely distraught to see NASA using miles. Well, you would have won if you would have won either way with those guesses. Turns out it's really, really far away. All right, and gracious in defeat. Congratulations from your fellow dominant player this evening. All right. Yes, of course. Next time you'll get in that tiebreak again. These tiebreaks have not been kind to you so far, but there's always next week. That's how we like to look at it here. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for our new players who are with us tonight. Tell all your friends if you enjoyed it. Let them know. It's a nice way to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 to 120 minutes. All right, thank you for joining us tonight, Hugo. And I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.